Please like and subscribe to Heather.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you all? I hope you all are fine with the grace of Almighty Allah. And today, packet tracer activity 9.3.3 HSRP configuration. So this is our packet tracer activity. And now let me read the objective of this activity. In this packet tracer activity, you will configure how to, you will learn how to configure the hot standby routing protocol. We called HSRP. So we have three different hot standby routing protocol. We have three redundant, we can say we have three different way we can configure as a redundant default gateway devices for the host. The one method we call the HSRP, another one is VRRP, and third one is GLBP. It is, but in this course we only focus on HSRP. So hot standby routing protocol to provide a redundant default gateway device to the host on a LAN. After configuring HSRP, you will test the configuration to verify that hosts are able to use the redundant default gateway. If the current gateway device become unavailable, and configure the HSRP active router, configure the HSRP default standby router, and we will verify the HSRP configuration. So one router will be active, another will be the standby router. Okay. Especially if you will see here, uh, see, now this time we have a default gateway for PCA. This is the default gateway, the router gigabit 0 interface. This interface IP address will be the default gateway for PC1. If PCB, this is the default gateway for PCB, if you will see here. So PCB traffic will move from switch 3, router 2, and to the web server. And PCA traffic will move from switch 1 to router 1, router 1 to router 2 to the web server, if you will see here. So this is the basic flow of the traffic from these two different sources. Okay. And the basic purpose of HSRP is if you have two or more router can share the same virtual IP addresses and MAC addresses, or it can act as a single virtual router. So it means, so your router 1 and router 3 serve as a default gateway. So router 1 and router 3. So in router 1 and router 3, if you will see here, so it means you have a redundant default gateway. If suppose if this router will be down, or the link is down, if the router is shut down or the link is down, okay, and then still you can use this path, the alternative path to reach to the web server. So we are saying, so we have basically we have the redundant default gateway. So we will use for PCA, we have basically in PCA, if you will go to the PCA, so your default gateway address is router 1. Okay, router 1. But if you will go to the PCB, our default gateway 3. Okay, same gateway for router 1 for PCA and PCB. How
Please like and subscribe to Heather Tech.
single, it will act as a single router. Okay, sorry, it will act as a single or a same default gateway. Okay, now let me read the background scenario so you will understand in more in detail. So background scenario: spanning tree protocol provide a loop-free redundancy between switches within a LAN. However, it does not provide a redundant default gateway for end-user devices within the network. If the gateway router fail, okay, if the gateway router fail, first hop redundancy protocol provide a redundant default gateway for the end devices with no additional end-user configuration necessary. By using FHRP, two or more routers can share the same virtual IP address and MAC address and can act as a single virtual router. Okay. Host on the networks are configured with the shared IP address as their default gateway. In this packet tracer activity, you will configure Cisco hot standby router protocol, which is FHRP. You will configure HSRP on router 1 and router 3, okay? So which serve as a default gateway for host on LAN 1 and LAN 2. So LAN 1 and LAN 2, we have the same default gateway. When you configure HSRP, you will create a virtual gateway. It is not a physical, it will be a virtual gateway that use the same default gateway addresses for the host in both LAN. So it will be the same default gateway for PCA and PCB. Okay, if any one gateway router become unavailable, the second router will take over the control and use the same default gateway address that was used by the first router, because the host on the LAN are configured with the IP addresses of the virtual gateway as a default gateway, and the host will regain the connectivity to remote network after HSRP activates the remaining router. Okay, let's start our practical. Verify the connectivity and trace the path to the web server from PCA. So PCA, if we will see here PCA to web server, we will trace route PCA to web server. Take this one, okay, PCA to web server, and we will just trace the route and we will see which route it will take to reach to the web server. Okay, so web server, go to the command prompt and write trace route and IP address of your web server, press enter, and it will see the path. It will show you the path. So it will take, if you see here, so router 1.
Please like and subscribe to Heather Tech.
So the trace route, if you will see here, the first, so the trace route, it will see the PC1 to router 1. It go to router 1, this one. 1.1. So the because the packet, the trace route from PC1 to web server. So first it goes to 1.1. Then 1.1 is the gigabit 0.1 interface. If you go to router 1, so gigabit 0.1 interface is 192.168.1.1. You can see this one. So this is first it goes here, the packet. Then the second one, after that the packet move to gigabit 00 10.1.1.2. So we will see gigabit 00 of router 2 gigabit 00 of router 2. If you will see 10.1.1. Gigabit 00 of router 2. Router 2 to onward, it is going to the internet and internet to the web server. So this is our 10.100.100.2. If you will see here, this is the internet. Okay, if you will see here 10.100.100.100, it moves to the internet here into the cloud. Then finally it reaches to the destination 209.165.200.226. If you will see now, the path is taken from PCA to web server. So it moved from router 1. So the question being asked here, which device, okay, trace the path from PCA to web server. Okay, this is the command we write. Which device are on the path from PCA to web server? Use addressing table to determine the device name. So it take a router 1, okay, then router 2, and then INET, here the internet, then it goes to the web server. So you need to type the answer from PC1 to router 1, router 1 to router 2 to the INET, then it finally reached to the web server. Okay, so based on our trace route command, we came to know, so your packet will take this path to reach the destination. Okay, so this is the first thing. Step number 2, trace the path to the web server from PCB. So we need to trace the path from PCB. Okay, now go to the PCB and we will see which path it will take to reach the destination, mean to the web server. You can see again, we will go to the addressing table here. You can see PCB to router 3. So router 3, this gigabit 00 interface. Okay, so router 3 gigabit 00 1.3. If you will see, this is 1.3 and this one is also 1.3. Okay, then further our packet moved to 10.1.1.2. 10.1.1.2 is the gigabit interface of router 2, 1.1.2. Okay, then finally it go to the INET here. This is 10.1.gigabit 02. Okay, 10.1.1.2 here 10. This is 10.1.1.2. say this is PCB, and then it moved to 10.100.100.2, and then it moves to the, so it moved from router 3 to router 2 and router 2 to INET and INET to the web server. Okay, it also have the same router 3, router 2 and INET. So router 3, router 2 and INET server. So the PCB, it is taking this path. Okay, step is trace the path to the web server from PCB. We have trace which device are on the path from PCB to the web server. So PCB to web server is router 3, router 2, and INET, and finally it reach to the web server. Okay. Now, step number 3, if you will see here, observe the network behavior when router 3 become unavailable. So select the delete tool from the packet tracer toolbar and delete the link between router 3 and switch 3. So router 3 and this one, we are going to delete this link. Okay. Now we are going to delete the link between switch. What do you think? Shall we able to ping from PCB to web server? Can we ping to PCB to web server?
Please like and subscribe to Heather Tech.
Okay, execute. Okay, we will execute the command and we will see tracer. See, we will able to ping, or we will able to get the path from PCB to the web server. You can see, open the command, compare the current output with the output of the command. What are the result? What is the result? You can see this is the result. Na? See, we cannot ping because the link is broken. Na? The link is broken. The link has been broken here. If you will see, we delete the link from switch 3 to this one. It cannot go to the router 1 because the default gateway is router 3 IP address. You can see 1.3, the IP address of this router 3. So it must go to the router 3 because there is no link. The link has been broken. We have deleted the link from switch 3 to router 3. Did you get this thing? Now it's clear. So what are the result? Result is, because the traceroute command cannot determine the path to the web server because the link has been deleted from switch 3 to web server. Okay, so you need to write this one. Okay, so click the connection icon in the low left corner of the packet tracer window and locate the copper straight through wire and connect the wire to switch 3 to router. So we will go to the straight through cable and we will connect gigabit 02 of the switch 3. Okay, gigabit 02 to here we will connect gigabit 00 of the router. If you will see now we will able to ping. Now if you will see, we will able to ping. Okay, so now we will go to the PCB and you will run the same command. Now you will see here, we will able to see again. See, you will able to ping because the default gateway for PCB is the router 3. Okay, so ping the web server. Yes, it is successful. Okay, it is successful. If you will see now, part B, sorry, configure HSRP active and standby router. So step number 1, configure HSRP on router 1. Okay, see, for the time being, if the link is down, we are not able to reach to this web server on the internet. But now we are going to configure the HSRP. After that, we will delete the link. Then we will see whether we will able to reach to the web server or not. Then you will see the result by yourself. Okay, now step number 1, configure HSRP on router 1. So configure HSRP on router 1, gigabit 01 LAN interface. We will go to router 1. So this is router 1. Okay, then we will write this command, enable configure terminal. Okay, then we need to write interface gigabit 0/1. Okay, then we need to type here the most recent HSRP protocol version is 2. Okay, so we need to type HSRP standby. Please, all of you, this is important. Okay, standby version 2. So this is the latest version we are using for HSRP. Okay, because now we need to configure the HSRP. Okay, so why we are configuring HSRP? Just try to again understand. If the link is down, still our PC should able to reach to the web server if any one of the link is down, because now we want to make a redundant gateway, default gateway for LAN 1 and LAN 2. Okay, now so standby version 2. So configure the IP address of the virtual default gateway. This configure host that require the services of the default gateway. It replaces the physical interface address of the router that has been previously configured on the host. So multiple instances of HSRP can be configured on the router. You must specify the HSRP group to identify the virtual HSRP group. So this number must be consistent between the router in the group and the group for this configuration is 1. So this one, if we are writing a 1, so this one should be same for both router. Okay, we'll write standby. Okay, here you can write the number, the group number. So for this activity, our group number is 1, standby 1, and virtual IP address. Okay, so virtual IP address. So virtual IP is, so this is our virtual IP 192.168 and 1.254. So we'll copy and paste it here. So this is our virtual IP address. Okay, then now HSRP, if you will see here, gigabit 01 group 1 state initiated. You can see now it is initiated. So designate the active router for the HSRP group. It is the router that will be used as a gateway device unless it fail or the path to it become inactive or unusable. Specify the priority for the router interface. So the default value is 100. The highest value will determine which router is the active router. If the priority of the router in the HSRP group are the same, then the the highest configured IP address will become the active router. So you can see for the time being, it is active router. So we are saying, so our router 1 should be active for all the time. Okay, so because we also need to configure here. So which router will be the active? Because most of the time this router will be the active. Okay, we are going to configure router 1 should be the active. If this one should fail, if this one will fail, then the traffic will move from router 3 to the web server. But in the normal condition, so our router 1 must be the active router. So if we need to make router 1 as an active router, so we need to change the priority value. So by default, the priority is 100. But if you will change the priority value more than 100, then this router will become always active router. It means the traffic will move through this router always. Okay, so we want to make router 1 as an active router. Okay, now it's clear. All of you, please tell me, is it okay? Standby group number 1 priority. Okay, so see, by default priority is 100. Okay, but the highest the priority will be elected as an active router. So by default 100. So we need to make, we can give 150 to make router 1 as an active router always. So router 1 will operate as an active router, and traffic from the two LANs will use it as a default gateway. Okay, then if it is desirable, then active router resume the role. Okay, if it is desirable, it's up to you that the active router resume that the role when it become available again. Configure it to preempt the service of the standby router. The active router will take over the gateway role when it become operable again. See, suppose the link is down. So normally the traffic will always go through the router 1, if you will see now, because this is our active router. Okay, suppose this is our normal traffic for both LAN 1 and LAN 2 will move from router 1. Okay, if the link is down for this router 1, okay, now what we are going to configure the preempt. Okay, so in the preempt, what preempt will do, if the primary link of the active router is down, the traffic will move to this router 3 and reach to the web server. Okay, this is the basic configuration we have done so far. But preempt, what it will do, the preempt it will once the link will be resumed, once the link between switch 1 to router 1 will resume, then this active router will take over the control from router 3, and the normal traffic will be resumed again, and this will be operable, and the traffic will move from router 1 to reach the web server. Okay, now we will configure the preempt. Okay, so this preempt will resume. Once the link will resume, it will send the traffic to the active router. Okay, preempt PRW.
Please like and subscribe to Heather Tech.
Router 3 will be our standby router. Now we need to configure the HSRP on router 3. Configure router 3 as a standby router. Enable. So configure router 3 interface that is connected to the LAN interface. So which interface is connected? Gigabit 00 interface is connected to the LAN interface. Okay, so gigabit 00 interface. So now we will go to the gigabit 00 in configure terminal. interface gigabit 0/0. Okay, and now if you will go and see here gigabit 00. So now we need to sign the interface gigabit 00, and then we need to stand the IP standby version 2, standby version, because this is the latest version 2, and standby 1. Okay, group number 1 IP address. So we will use this IP address. Okay, this is our virtual IP. Okay, and this is our standby router, and we will use here we use the priority on router 1, but on router 3 we will not use the priority, because the default priority we will use, because this is our standby router and this will be our active router. Okay, now you can see here this is our standby. If you will see here, this is our standby router. Okay, this is the only configuration we require. So just write show standby, show standby. Okay, now you can see here the standby router is this state is standby, the router 3 state is standby. This is a virtual IP. Okay, and this is the MAC. We are not interested in the MAC. So here group name HSRP, this one standby router local. The priority you can see all priority is 100. Okay, now so show standby on router 3 we have seen. Show standby we will see on the we will check on the router 1, show standby. We will see here the router 1 is our active router, and this is the IP address, and this is the MAC address of the router. And if you will see, the priority is 150. Okay, if you will see, so the router, this is the active router. You can see this is the active router, state is active, it's already mentioned here. So using the output, if you will see here, using this output. Okay, so which router is the active router? Can you tell me please? Which router is the active router? This is router 1 and this is the active router. Okay, so what is the MAC address of the virtual IP address? So this is the MAC address. If you will see the MAC address of virtual IP address. Okay, so what is the IP address priority of the standby router? So what is the IP address and the priority of the standby router? So standby router, see, standby router is 1.3. Okay, so this is the, and the priority for the standby router, definitely if it is 150, and the priority for standby is, you can see, 100. Okay, now use the show standby brief command on router 1 and router 2 to view the HSRP status summary. Show standby brief. Okay, we will go to the router 1 and we will see show standby brief. If you will see here, see, this is our priority is 150 and it is active, and this is the standby router 1.3 and virtual. This is our standby router. Okay, and this is the IP address, virtual IP address. Okay, and same you can go and you can check the standby, the same command here. Just write show standby brief, and you will see here this is the priority value. You can see in router 3 the priority is 100, but the highest priority is always elected as a active router, so it is a lowest priority than the router 1. So this will be the standby router. You can see, so active router is 1.1 and virtual IP is both router. We use the same virtual IP. Okay, the group is 1 because the group should be. So change the default gateway address for PCA, PCC, switch 1 and switch 3. So we will change the IP address. Okay, so which IP we need to configure on PCA, PCC and switch 1? So we will use this one, 2 dot this IP address. Okay, so both router, because now our default, this is our virtual default gateway. Okay, so we will use the PCA and go to the configuration, and we will use this. This is our default gateway, virtual IP address of the default gateway. You can see here, and here also PCB. We will also use, sorry, here go to the command prompt. We will use this gateway. Okay, now if you will see now, so We also need to change on switch 1 and switch 3. Later on, I will do it, no problem. So now immediately return to the PCB, select the delete tool from packet tracer toolbar and delete the cable from router 1 to switch 1. Now this time we will use switch 1 to router 1. We will delete this cable. Sorry, we will delete this, the link. You will see. So normally PCA traffic will move from PCA to web server from router 1, router 2 to web server. This is the normal. Now we will see. So if we will delete the link, still we will able to reach to our web server or not. So we will see. Okay. Now if you will see here, the link has been deleted. Now you will see. 1 minute. So here we will go to the this one, and now we will see. Shall we able to ping to the web server? You will see here, because first time it will take some little bit time because of the trace time out, because eventually the trace went through router 3 and router 2 and iNet, and router 3 was used as the first hop gateway in this trace route instead of router 1. If you will see here, request time out, and you can see here 10.100. Again we can go and you will see here 10.1.1.2 and 10.100.100.2 and 209.165.200.26. Okay, so if you will see here, so it move from PCA to router 3 and router 3 to router 2 and router 2 to our web server. Okay, now so the next step here, we can go open the command prompt. This one finished, yeah. Okay, so which address should you use? As I told you, so which address we should use, and verify the setting issue PCA, we already done this one. Okay, sorry, break the link of router 1, we already done. Trace route, how was this trace route different from the previous one? Because the previous one, it goes to the router 1 and router 1 to web server if it is a normal traffic. Okay, but the thing is, if you are using a PC1 PCA, okay, and PCA, if you did not configure the HSRP, so you will not able to configure the web, sorry, you will not able to reach to the web server. But in this case, now still, because we have a two redundant default gateway and we have the virtual IP we assign to this the link, okay, between, there is no link here. Okay, so we configure a virtual link, okay, the virtual link between router 1 and router 3. So what we are going to do here, what we did it, so this is our virtual interface IP, and now this virtual the IP address, sorry, the default gateway for PC1 is a virtual IP address of router 1 and router 3, because this virtual IP is same. Okay, that is why, how was the trace route different from the previous? Because now we need to resume the link from switch 1 to router 1, and you will see. So now this time, if you will go and check the router 3, that this router 3 become the active router. Show standby. If you will see standby, you can see the state is active because the link between switch 1 to router 1 is down. Did you notice this one? The link between switch 1 to router 1 is down. Okay, because of that one, this switch 3 become our active router. You can see it is active router, and our standby router is unknown because the link is down. We don't have the standby router here because the link is down. Okay, before this was our active router, router 1. So always the traffic move from PCA to web server through router 1 for LAN 1 and LAN 2. But now the link is down from switch 1 to router 3. So because of that one, now the traffic is going moved from PCA to router 3 and router 3 to router 2 and router to the web server. Okay, now if you will see here, so this is our active router. Now we will what we will do, so we will restore the link to router 1. Okay, so then you will see what will happen. So here we will resume the link. If you will see here, now gigabit 01 and 02, we resume this link, and you will see now which one will be our active router and which one is our standby router. You can see still it is active because now the link is still in the process to be learned, and you will see here once it will, you can see now the link become switch 3. You can see now the state is standby. You can see the state is standby. Did you notice this one? And now the router 1 become the active router. If you will come and see here, show standby, you can see now this again become the standby. Why? Which command help us to do this type of configuration? Yeah, this type of output it is going to show like the preempt. So once the link will resume, as I told you before, once the link is resumed, so router 1 become again the active router. See, preempt command. We use the preempt command. Na? This preempt command, once the link resume from switch 1 to router 1, it help the router to become an active router again. So now if you will just observe the traffic from PCA to again to the web server, you will notice one difference here. So now it will take some little bit time. You can see 192.168.1.1 before it went through the 1.3. You can, did you notice? Now it is 1.1. Then it is a gigabit 00 interface. Okay. Then 10.1.1.2. Then 10.100.100.2, and it moves from now it again, because the link has been resumed. So PC1 to router 1, router 1 to router 2, and router 2 to web server. So this is the way. See, if I ask you if the preempt command was not configured for the HSRP group on router 1, would the result have been the same? Can you tell me? Would be the result has been the same? No, because router 1 would not become the gateway again. The path through router 3 would continue to be used. Okay, if we did not configure the preempt. Okay, if we did not configure the preempt on router 1, then router 3 will be the gateway. It will using a router 3 as a gateway. Router 3 would be the continue to be the gateway. Okay, so now preempt make router 1 as active once the link is resumed. Okay, it's clear.
Please like and subscribe to Heather Tech.